the tradition going. I was a former supervisor in Northampton Township for 24 years, and I remember the first year I took office, I was appointed as liaison for public safety. And the then school board president at the time was a woman named Pat Poprick, that many of you know. And I said to Pat, you know, is there something that we can do with the school district that would, you know, make insurance sense, safety sense, fire sense? And it was right around September, August of that particular year. And I said, you know what? National Fire Prevention Week is always the first Sunday in October. And I said, why don't we have, and at that time, all the schools, including the high schoolers, participate in a contest to write about fire safety. And I think after the first 2 years, we didn't get many applications in or responses in from the high school level, but we thought, you know, let's confine it to the elementary schools and invite all of the schools within the Council Rock School District, not only Northampton, but the other 4 municipalities as well, to conduct that contest. And so in 1983, we started it for the first year, and we brought some posters along. Last year, our 25th anniversary, we had 25 posters around the wall, but it was too much trouble to put them all up, so we did it by 5-year segments. So starting at the far end of that room is 1983, and we end with last year's award ceremony here. So that's how it got started. And I have to think that after 25 years, and literally we get thousands of students that enter this thing each year. And you'd have to think that over 26 years, if they just bring a little bit about what they learned during National Fire Prevention Week home, and I know the parents help them in the system, as well as the wonderful school teachers that get involved with this project. It has to make for a safer community, and after all, that's what this contest is all about. At this time, I'd like to call up the sponsoring organization that fronts all the costs here, so there's nothing at taxpayers' expense except your time on the meeting here. The president of the Philadelphia chapter of CPCU, Kelly Goldfine, who is here with us, she's going to make the award presentations, and I'll be taking the pictures. Kelly, would you like to say a few words, please?
So like Pete said, the organization that puts all of this together is the Philadelphia chapter of the CPCU Society. The CPCU Society stands for the Chartered Property Casualty Underwriter Society. It's an organization of dedicated insurance professionals who focus on ethics and continuing education in order to further insurance careers and to further the industry. There are about 28,000 members, 160 chapters, and your local chapter in Philadelphia is one of the largest chapters in the world. We're happy to continue to sponsor this program, so on behalf of the organization, thank you.
The judges, the schools send us their finalists, so they filter through literally hundreds and hundreds and then send us their top applicants. And then the grading panel, which is comprised of myself, School Board Director Bernadette Heenan, who has been doing this for several years, and Northampton Township's Fire Marshal Frank Fenton. And between the three of us, we come from 3 different areas of how to judge these things, and we do it independently of each other. Bernadette comes from the educational side. She looks for spelling, grammar, and make sure that it's the students' work. I come from the insurance aspect, looking at it from a risk management standpoint, and the fire marshal, of course, looks at it from almost strictly a fire safety standpoint. So between the 3 of us, we do it independently, then we get together with our highest scores, and this year was close only in one particular area, but for the most part, we had a consensus on who the winners were. So tonight, we're going to honor these 12 individuals, and then on December 9th, at the Northampton Township Board of Supervisors meetings, these children will also be honored by their municipalities. One winner from Newtown Township, the chairman of that Board of Supervisors, will be attending that meeting. The students will get proclamations from the State House and the State Senate. So So without further ado, Bernadette, would you announce the names? And when you come up to get your award, and Kelly, you're going to come up here, get your award and stand in front of your poster. And we're going to call them in order from the first graders and end with the sixth graders.
Okay. First and second grade category. First place, $200 bond and plaque, Colby Brown, Welsh Elementary, and the teacher. Excellent. The second place is a $100 bond and plaque, Victoria Rizzo, Churchville Elementary, second grade, Mrs. Riley.
There you go.
Third place, $100 bond and plaque, Ashley Titrot, Richborough Elementary, first grade, Mrs. Branca. Hello. Congratulations.
Okay. We're ready, you're not.
Fourth place, $100 bond and plaque goes to Alan Chai, Holland Elementary, first place, Mrs. McPhee. Congratulations. Smile. Good. Moving on to the third and fourth grade category. First place, $200 bond and plaque goes to Samantha Brown, Welsh Elementary, Mrs. Biamonte. Second place, $100 bond and plaque goes to Sarah Pulaski, Welsh Elementary, Mrs. Andrelli. I love your shirt. Read your shirt to everybody. Turn around and show Mr. Klein.
Oh, I want one of those.
He needs his glasses.
We should all have them. Third place, $100 bond and plaque goes to Josh Silverstein, Rolling Hills Elementary, Mrs. Long. Excellent. Fourth place, $100 bond and plaque goes to Maddie Friedman, Goodnow Elementary, fourth grade, Mrs. Law. Okay. Fifth and sixth grade category. First place, $200 bond and plaque goes to Costa Petsis, Welsh Elementary, Mrs. Polchin, fifth grade. And if we have an opportunity, if he could just briefly read his piece before we close this evening. Well, maybe you would like to share with the group. We're going to finish this, but it was wonderful. Second place, $100 bond and plaque, Emily Wilkinson, Churchville Elementary, Miss Starnes. And are all our teachers with our students? Because they're certainly a big part of this, so I'm sorry. Third place, $100 bond and plaque goes to Miriam Vanderspeck, Churchville Elementary, and Miss Starnes. And fourth place, $100 bond and plaque, Alexa Francesca, Welsh Elementary, Mr. Henke. Thank you. Okay. Now, if I could have you come forward and but a little bit of history. I think this basically speaks for itself.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Let's see if I can lower this thingy. Okay.
There you go.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. One cold, gusty night in December, I was in my room watching SpongeBob SquarePants, and my grandma was talking on the phone. All of a sudden, my dad came in screaming, "Fire, fire." We thought at first he was kidding, then I realized we had a real house fire. So my dad, me, my grandma, and my brother got out of the house as soon as possible. We ran outside in the cold air. As we ran, my grandma was calling 911. The cold, icy ground stung my bare feet. I didn't want to go back for shoes. The flames had quickly spread all around my house. Running to my neighbor's house, I looked back. I could see and hear the fire truck sirens wailing behind us. As there were many coming down the street to help put out the fire. As I was inside my neighbor's house, I looked out the window and I saw the water shooting out like a jet trying to put out the fire at my house. I couldn't believe what just happened. This is an experience I will never forget, and I'm thankful that we were able to get out safely, even if my house didn't burn down. It is something a person will never forget. I am sometimes sad that we lost certain material possessions, but I'm also grateful that all my family was able to get out safely.
Mr. Palestina, I'd like to thank you for the effort, the time, and the energy with this program, and it truly does make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. As I said, it's my pleasure. What you just heard, he won first place for what he did. It was only afterward that we found out, true story, and it was a house in Northampton Township that burned down to the ground, I guess about a year ago, December of 2007. And lesson learned there, sad story, but it's reasons for these contests are what they learned today might help save a life. I would ask that you please support your local volunteer fire companies. They do not get paid for the services they rendered. Very important. Some of the photos that were taken, were those photos taken by the family or from the fire company?